WWE tried to get a Nazi. So what happened?
That's got to be the title of the clip for this. Goddamn.
So to explain what's going on, there's this one amazing wrestler.
Nah, fuck it. Don't explain. Don't explain. Just move on to the next story. WWE tried to get a Nazi. Let's just move on.
There's this one amazing story of wrestler called Walter. That's it, just Walter. He's Austrian.
Wasn't the guy from the Inglourious Bastards named Walter?
I don't think so. Hugo Stiglitz?
Was Walter in the show? Yeah. Oh no. Okay. That's
Hugo Stiglitz. Isn't his name Walter?
Is his name Walter in real life?
I don't know the actor in real life. I don't know.
Okay.
Stop trying to make him Walter.
Yeah,
Hugo Stiglitz. Isn't he Walter?
Yeah. Isn't it Walter Hugo Stiglitz?
Oh God. It never changed, Aslam. So Walter, phenomenal wrestler. He's Austrian. He's been in WWE for a couple years now. He's badass. So WWE recently got a trademark for the name Gunther Stark. And this was supposed to be a name change for Walter, where he was supposed to be now called Gunther Stark. Because WWE. And Vince McMahon's weird. And it's funny because they changed their idea last minute, because if you Google Gunther Stark, that's the name of a Nazi U-boat commander from World War II. So they were just like, we can't use that name. So they decided, well, you know what? He's established as Walter. He's always been known as Walter. So we're just going to call him Gunther. Which makes no fucking sense. Because Vince McMahon's a crazy old man. So on this past episode of NXT, Walter had a match, and at the end he said, the winner is Gunther. And everyone said, what? And then the show ended. It's annoying because I just want to point out a couple of things. So Walter, he was a top wrestler in Europe under the name Walter. He was signed by WWE under the name Walter. He was the longest reigning NXT UK champ for 870 days under the name Walter. He already debuted on the WWE main roster at one of their biggest pay-per-views, and everybody knows him as Walter. So now when he shows up to the main roster and they're like, look, it's Gunther. Everybody's like, who the fuck is Gunther? We don't watch NXT. Makes no fucking sense. Vince, what are you doing?
Yep.
Also, short little tidbit, I found out that Vince McMahon has this pet peeve that he wants all of the coaches and backstage on NXT to dye their beards and cut their hair so they look younger. These are the coaches. They're not even on TV. But he wants them to cut their hair and dye their beards so that they look younger.
Can someone please put this guy in like a mental hospital, or like just put him on a beach somewhere with a Mai Tai? It's just with a Mai Tai, and just surround him with a couple of chicks so he's distracted, and just let Triple H and his wife fucking run this company, please.
I don't know what's going on with Vince, man. I don't know what's happening.
I think he got a case of the gout, Alzheimer's. The gout-zimers.
Lost his marbles.
He got the gout-zimers.
The gout-timers. Oh my god.
Another WWE story. Mustafa Ali, and he pronounces it Mustafa. Is that correct? I'm curious, Aslam. Yeah. It is supposed to be pronounced Mustafa.
Mustafa. Yeah.
Okay, because he used to be under the name Mustafa.
Kind of like Mustafar, but Mustafa.
Yeah. He used to be
kind of like if you're friends, you don't use the ER.
Oh, okay, I get you now. He used to be Mustafa Ali, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's his name." Then one day he's like, "No, it's actually pronounced Mustafa." I've meant to ask you if that's correct or not. I didn't think about it until just now. Anyway, he requested a release from WWE. He said, "This is stupid. I don't want to fucking be here anymore." Apparently, what happened was he got into a very heated argument with Vince McMahon.
Of course,
he hasn't been seen on TV since
terrorist.
He hasn't been seen on TV since October, and he hasn't had a win on a main show, that being Raw or SmackDown, since July. One hell of a wrestler. He was once known as the Soul, the Heart. He was the Heart or the Soul. He was either the Heart or the Soul. It was Cedric and him. One of them was the Heart, the other was the Soul. Of 205 Live, a phenomenal wrestler. He was supposed to be... So you guys remember a couple years ago when Kofi Kingston became WWE champion finally? and it was called Kofi
Yes.
Mania. It was a big thing.
You were very happy.
It's one of the greatest moments of wrestling history. Anyway, that all happened because Mustafa Ali got hurt, and it was actually supposed to be him in that spot. He got injured. They transitioned to Kofi, and they created one of the biggest genuine moments in WWE and wrestling history. So it sucked because it was supposed to be him. He got hurt. Shit happens. I get it. Then a couple months or years later, they were supposed to do a Money in the Bank match, and he was going to win. And I was like, oh, shit, he gets Money in the Bank. That means they're looking at him as a top guy. That's crazy because he's a little guy, and he's not your stereotypical 6'5", 250-pound wrestler.
Yeah.
And then right when he's about to make his entrance, they changed their mind. Like, yeah, you're not going to win. We're going to have Brock Lesnar win. And then we're like, but Brock Lesnar's not even in this match. We're like, yeah, he's going to show up at the end of the match and win. Makes no fucking sense, but that's what happened. So then Ali didn't win that. Then later on, they decided that they want to try to have this one kind of like storyline where there's this weird hacker that's doing all these crazy behind-the-scene WWE things. Nobody knows who it is, and it was supposed to be revealed that it was going to be Ali. And then they just dropped the storyline. They never did anything with it. And then they were just like, hey, we're going to give Mustafa Ali this group of guys. We're going to pull them up from NXT, and they're going to act like they're taking over, and they're wearing masks, and they're just going to – they wreck the ring, and they're tearing up everything. It's going to be badass. And then they gave these guys the dumbest names like T-Bar and Slapjack. And they're just like, yeah, you're called Retribution, and you're just a joke now, and Mustafa Ali's your leader, but we don't really care because you're a bunch of idiots. So that didn't work out. Then Ali was just like, well, I have this idea for a storyline where I want to create this thing called Ali's America. This is going to be the gimmick where I always...
Oh, God, that doesn't sound...
Well, that's the thing. He put up a thing on Twitter, and I'm not going to lie, it looked really good. I wish they would have gone forward with it. Where he was supposed to be...
The name is not good.
Well, the thing is, he comes out dressed like as a politician, and he's just like,
Okay.
all my life I've always been looked down upon because I'm different, because of my name, because of all this stuff, and I always, hey, if you guys mispronounce my name, it is what it is. I looked away. If you did this, you did whatever. I was like, whatever, I'm just trying to fit in. Now I don't want to fit in anymore. Now I'm going to make all of you the outcasts. Now you're going to live in my America. And it was supposed to be like a heel character where he's sort of like a politician, but he also, obviously politician is a heel, but he's supposed to do all that. And it seemed like a really cool concept. Vince McMahon didn't like it. And apparently he pitched some...
See, that was a good choice.
It would have worked. I'm not going to lie, it would have worked.
No.
Hey, I watch wrestling, sir. It would have fucking worked.
I know, but publicity-wise, it would have not.
They have a man called Hakeem the African Dream. Mm-hmm. He was a white guy. That's the thing. Vince has done much worse in the
down there in
past.
South Africa.
Huh?
They're kind of white up there in the
No,
north.
he wasn't,
It
man.
happens.
Trust me, he wasn't. This was like some Southern boy, like. But anyway,
That's different. Yeah, but like just because of his name and Ali's America, and just like because it sounds terroristy,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
His whole career before he got to WWE, they always tried to pitch him as a terroristic type of character, and he always stood away from it. It's not a terrorist thing. I don't know. You have to go on Twitter to look at the thing to truly understand.
No,
it.
I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying like
It would have been perceived that way.
because no one's gonna actually. Yeah, because no one's actually gonna go into it and look at it, right? It's just they're gonna read that, look at the guy, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, this terrorist is." They got terrorists now on WWE.
Yeah, but they've had terrorists on
So-
WWE for years.
Yeah, sure, but like they were the good terrorists. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. It was a great idea. Everybody on Twitter loved it.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon turned it down, and apparently he pitched something to Ali. We don't know what it was, but it was, according to Sean Ross Sapp, he knows a lot about insider WWE or wrestling
We're
stuff.
gonna recreate 9/11.
That's the thing. Nobody knows what it was, but he pitched something, and it was something that Ali never would have done. And they got into a heated argument. Yeah. Ali walked out, and he hasn't been seen since. He requested his release, and apparently Vince McMahon is refusing to release him. The guy who's released over 80-something people is now refusing to release Ali, who he doesn't even use.
He's just being a dick.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't use him, you don't think he's that good, then why are you keeping him? Just let him fucking
He doesn't
go.
want him to get paid. He wants to.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
So
It is.
there you go. So that's the Mustafa Ali storyline. Eventually he will go. Oh, also he put up this thing on Twitter where he did Bryan Danielson's finisher in like this video. I was like, oh, and he did it so fucking smooth. It's like he's reenacting AEW wrestlers' moves now. This is amazing. Anyway, and one last wrestling story I got. John Moxley has officially returned to in-ring action. He was out for a while. He
was hurt, right? I forgot what.
No, he actually had to check himself into rehab because of alcohol addiction. And he was something apparently he'd been struggling with for a while. So he was out. He got himself better. He came back, and dude, he was out for just a few months, and he looks 10 years younger. It's crazy. So he looks like he's like lean now. It's like I can't wait to see him do shit. So he showed up on AEW's Dynamite yesterday, and he goes out to the ring. Everybody's losing their shit. His theme song is Wild Thing, so everybody's singing along to Wild Thing like they used to. It's awesome. Grabs a mic, the music stops, and then the first thing you hear is some fan from the crowd shouting, "Boo, get this drunken piece of shit out the ring." And it was fucked up. And then John Moxley, who's been out for months, grabs a microphone, and he says, "Hey, go fuck yourself. Get that guy out of here." And they didn't bleep it out. So he just dropped an F-bomb as the first thing he's done in months on television, on TBS. And rightfully so. Everybody cheered afterward.
It's totally called for, though.
Absolutely.
Do they fine his ass or like some sort
I don't
of
know.
something?
The show will get fined by TBS.
Yeah, it's funny because
Yeah, that was cold. That fan was a dick.
As much as I hate saying it, as a wrestling fans aren't always the greatest people.
But you got to expect it too. Like you can't, you know what I mean? What he said was fucked up 100%. But you're in this position where you're famous. You're gonna get criticized for your mistakes because famous people aren't allowed to make mistakes via society's view, right? So just like you gotta expect that shit.
I feel like, honest to God, Moxley had the perfect reaction. Even if he gets fined, it was perfect, and it fits his character and persona and everything. It was phenomenal. He stops. He says, like I said, "Hey, go fuck yourself. Get that guy out of here." And everybody cheers, and then he proceeds to give a promo that only John Moxley can give. And he goes out, and he gives this amazing promo. He's just like, listen, he doesn't at any point acknowledge the guy. He doesn't, he just, and everybody focused. And it was so cool because you see the whole audience just gets completely silent. You can hear a pin drop because everybody wants to hear every single word that this man says. That's how much respect Moxley has. So he goes out, and then he ends it with it started off weird and then ended up being kind of cool where he's just like, yeah, and you know what? And I'm thirsty. And he does this weird walk. He's like, and the only thing I'm drinking these days is blood. And then he just walks out. I was like, this dude's too fucking badass. Like, so he's going to have that's all he did. He did a promo, but he's going to have his first match this Friday on Rampage, his first match back. So looking forward to seeing Mox. Okay. He's amazing in the ring. Aslam, you got to see Mox win the world title in Chicago with me.
Yeah.
So can't wait.